everyone, and welcome back to Happily Adventures After. It is London, and I am so happy to have you back here with us for our Hey Disney Top 10, which is our weekly series where we dive into the top 10 in some specific area. So if you're new here, basically what Hey Disney Top 10 is like I said, we're going to dive into the top 10 in a specific area of Disney, whether it be Walt Disney World parks in general. Maybe our top 10 picks up a specific park, such as Animal Kingdom or Disney's Magic Kingdom. Maybe we'll get into the top 10 ways to bring Disney home. Okay, you get the drift, you get where I'm going. So that is what we are here to do today. But we're doing something that may be considered a little unorthodox. We are going to talk about the benefits of staying off property. So here we're going to dive into the top 10 perks of staying off property at Walt Disney World. Because we all know that, yes, staying in the Walt Disney bubble is amazing. However, we also know it can be very pricey. And there are actually other advantages to make your vacation a little bit more unique in an off-property accommodation. So having that said, we know that the incredible benefits of staying on property for you may outweigh staying off property or vice versa. But we want to talk about how much more affordable, how much more flexibility you may have, and the convenience you may have. I know some people think it's much more of a hassle, but I think it's actually more convenient staying off Walt Disney World property. Before we get started, I want to have you picture something, okay? So, close your eyes. Think about this. Waking up in a very spacious vacation home with plenty of room to spread out to enjoy your time together as a family. Whether you're choosing a vacation rental, an Airbnb, a nearby hotel that offers breakfast, well, guess what? You could even have your own private pool in your yard. I know. You don't have to share with everybody. You have your own private pool and maybe even a kitchen and a laundry machine. I know. Well, if you're doing this, you can stay off property in a home-like atmosphere, plus or minus a few if you're staying just in an off-property hotel for Walt Disney World, and you get the ability to explore so much more than just the parks. You get to choose a variety of accommodations that will fit your needs, your budgets, and give you the freedom to enjoy your trip exactly how you want it to be. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with staying on Walt Disney World property. I think it's really fun. But I think staying off Walt Disney World property actually makes Walt Disney World parks much more magical. Plus, saving on your hotel costs to having your own vehicle there and being able to go off property from Walt Disney World and back whenever you want gives you the ultimate flexibility. And then you can enhance your Walt Disney World experience so much more because maybe you can go to a nearby Target or Walmart if you wanted to, grab what you needed and go, and it makes your park experience so much better for you. That's just a caveat. I know if you have your own transportation at Walt Disney World, you can do the same thing or do an Uber or a Lyft or whatever it is. But I'm just saying, when you stay off property, you usually have your own vehicle, so it doesn't kind of pose, okay, we need to schedule this in. And I have to say, the best part about staying off property is it's more than just a place to stay. It's offering you the space and freedom to enjoy your vacation, as Radio Disney would say, your music, your way. Basically, your accommodations, your way. If you can grab something with a larger accommodation, let's say you're going with your entire family and there's 15 of you, there's no way you're going to fit in a Walt Disney World resort room and even get rooms that align with one another. Well, if you can find a vacation rental, and there's so many on, for instance, VRBO, Jeeves Vacation Rentals, or whatever else there is, where you can accommodate 15 people in one giant vacation home, you're staying with your entire family. Yeah, it's more expensive, but when you split the cost, it's actually not. So things like that can truly make your vacation what you want it to be and elevate your entire experience. Whether you're somebody who likes to prepare your own meals in a fully equipped kitchen, I am, though I do love theme park food. I really do love having my own meals and like grocery store food. Maybe you want to enjoy that quieter evening away from the crowds, or start your morning at a quieter place and then go to the crowds. Whatever it is, it's up to you. You can also go exploring in a nearby attraction area if, hey, I've been watching allears.net, and they were talking about going to do all of the theme park rides in Orlando on one of their videos. And one of them, they went to the Fun Spot in both Kissimmee and Orlando. If that's something you want to do because it's close to where you're staying, go enjoy. I've never been there. I kind of wanted just to stop in, but I've never been there. Okay, so that's another point, but I'm saying you can go do it because staying off property provides you more variety and more convenience than you may find at a Walt Disney World resort. So with all that said, let's get into the Hey Disney top 10 perks of staying off property for a Walt Disney World vacation. And these Our first Hey Disney top 10 perk for staying off Walt Disney World property is that you are going to receive a larger accommodation. So off-property options such as vacation homes, condos, even suites. Like I'm thinking the Homewood Suites 2-bedroom, for instance, or a 1-bedroom. I know Staybridge also has one. We are a Hilton family. That's just where we normally stay. Work with me here, so that's why I mentioned Hilton. But all of these places provide more space for families to spread out and relax. And they do so at a more cost-effective point than if you were staying on Walt Disney World property and staying at a 3-bedroom villa, for instance. So if you're traveling with a larger group, like I said earlier, like that family of 15, you're doing your entire family, well, I'll be darned, you can get a vacation home for 15. So having these larger accommodations are an ideal choice. You can enjoy multiple bedrooms, living areas, and so much more, and usually even get like a fully stocked, not stocked with food, but equipped, kitchen. You can get like 3 full bathrooms. For instance, if you have a 3-bedroom, you see where I'm going with this. And so much more. I truly do love having the space to unwind after a long day and you spent the entire day with your family and you see people in the parks getting mad at each other because they've spent all day together from sun up to sundown and then they go back to a tiny hotel room. Yeah, not my thing. So we like to stay off property, and one of the perks of having that larger accommodation is our own space to unwind. We each go to our respective bedrooms. We each have our own bathroom that we use. And in doing so, wherever we get this larger accommodation, we enjoy it because then we can kind of leave each other if we've spent too much time together. You know what I'm saying if you've been there. And if you're not fed up with one another and you still just want your own space, that's completely and totally fine. Like you don't have to all... Okay, so this is a tangent. We know me. I've gone on tangents many times. But I am somebody who has to sleep with the TV on. So if you're staying in a 2-bed hotel room on Walt Disney World property, and let's say you're going with a group of friends and your friends can't stay where the TV is on while you're sleeping because they don't like it, well, a larger accommodation is going to mitigate that so you both get your own room. For instance, if you got a 2-bedroom place, one can have a TV on, one cannot. Plus, think about this. When you have a larger accommodation, and let's say that you're staying in a condo that has 3 bedrooms and 3 full bathrooms, you each can take your own shower. And you don't have to wait. Like that last person doesn't have to wait, or you don't have to draw straws kind of thing. You each can do it whenever you need to. So I truly do love that. Plus, if you're traveling with children and they need their own place to rest or unwind, bam, they've got it. So anything like that, I think that if you're looking for the extra room to keep everybody comfortable and happy, or if you're just traveling with a super large group, staying off property is an excellent option to consider. And I again want to say, in no means do I think staying on property is bad. I don't at all. I really do like staying at a lot of the resorts in Walt Disney World, but I found for me and my family and our travel party, it's better when we stay, for instance, in a larger accommodation because it just works out better. So second on our top 10 benefits and perks to staying off property at Walt Disney World is the lower cost. So one of the most attractive reasons people tend to stay off property when going to a very expensive place like Walt Disney World is the savings, because it's a lot cheaper. So off-property hotels, vacation rentals, and even Airbnbs or VRBOs tend to be more affordable than Disney resorts, offering significant savings. So this is especially beneficial if you're on a budget or want to allocate more funds to do other experiences. So let's say you wanted to do a VIP tour at Walt Disney World, for instance, this is an instance, that might run you $3,000 for the entire day plus your park ticket. However, if you tack that on to staying at an, I'm going to make this up, okay? Work with me here. Staying at the Contemporary where you're paying, let's say, you got a really good rate and you're paying $600 a night. Yeah, I did say good rate at $600 a night, depending on where you're staying in the Contemporary. That's going to be expensive, even at 7 nights. But if you got, for instance, just a hotel room off property, but still staying, for instance, in the Good Neighbor hotels. I know that's not off property to some or on property to other, like it depends. But you're staying at a Good Neighbor hotel and you just got a hotel room, that might be $170 to $200, for instance, a night instead of $600. Well, you basically just paid for the VIP tour. Do you see where I'm saying there? So do a cost benefit for you. For instance, my family and I really enjoy staying at Reunion Resort and Golf Club, Golf Club. And it's outside of Kissimmee, but it's in it, if that makes sense. It's its own little area. Why I bring that up is we've priced out a moderate hotel and a stay at a 3-bedroom condo or villa at Reunion Resort. They're more deluxe ones, and it's way cheaper. So for us, the on-property perks that come with staying at a moderate resort, not even a deluxe, like just the 30 minutes of extra park hours in the morning, getting that 7-day access for lightning lanes. We tend to rent a car either way, so that would be there. We have parking already paid for in our annual pass. Staying off property becomes much more beneficial, especially when we're either trying to do things on a budget or wanting to allocate other funds. Like I said, if we wanted to do that VIP tour, we haven't. It's something I want to do. Or we want to do something like going to Universal. A 1 day at Universal with Express Pass runs, I am Canadian, for those of you who are new here, I'm Canadian, going to Universal with the exchange rate, getting Express Pass to do everything we want to do. And this is not including Epic Universe because it's not open at the time of recording. Costs upward of $1,000 Canadian. So if I can save something and I want to spend a day at Universal, heck yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm just giving you these examples because I really do recommend staying off property if you do want to stretch your dollar further. And sometimes those examples may help you make that decision. Plus, it allows you to enjoy the parks and the Walt Disney World experience without breaking the bank. So all right, third on our list is the ability to fit larger groups. So going back to that large family of 15, for instance, if you're traveling with your large family, even a family of 6, because I think only some Walt Disney World resorts can accommodate a family of 5. The rest of them are 4 people, and then you have to get another hotel room other than like the family suites at Art of Animation or the All-Stars, as well as this is before getting into the deluxe resort villas, okay? So if you're traveling as a large family, even one, for instance, of 5 or 6, or that group of 15 that we all have seen in the parks, or maybe you're traveling with the same number of people, but you're a group of friends, off-property accommodations are honestly perfect. Many vacation rentals come along with those multiple bedrooms. Like we were saying, I gave the example of Reunion Resort and Golf Club where they have a 3-bedroom villa. It sleeps, give me 2 seconds, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 people. And you're in a 3-bedroom, I think it's about 1,600 square feet, 3 bathroom. So using that, for instance, and it's way cheaper at times than a deluxe resort or on par. And you're doing that, giving yourself, like I said, those multiple bathrooms, bedrooms, large living rooms, even fully stocked or equipped, I say stocked all the time, sorry, kitchens and a laundry room that you don't have to pay for. And these are just like villa accommodations. This isn't even a vacation home. For instance, way back when I was little, we used to rent a vacation home that my dad found out through somebody he used to work with, and I also went to school with their kids. It had 4 bedrooms, it had its own pool, its own washer, dryer, kitchen. It was a really nice house, and that was way cheaper. This is back in like 2000 as well. This is way cheaper than staying on Disney World property then. So using that as an example, now I'm going to be honest, that doesn't exist anymore, so I can't give you any link to where it's going, but it doesn't exist. It was somebody who just rented it. But things like that you can find on VRBO, you can find on Airbnb, or vacation rentals just in general. One that I see all the time is Jeeves Vacation Rental, and they have a large presence in Reunion Resort, so you can go on their website, you can see which properties they have. But using those, for instance, allow you to have a more comfortable stay. And it honestly provides more of a home-like experience. You have a couch, you have a kitchen, a dining room table, and yes, you're on vacation, but I really do like that homey feel. And this isn't just at Walt Disney World. This is my family and I travel to like a cottage country when I've been to Hawaii a few times, California, anything like that. I really do like the homey feel opposed to being in a hotel room. So whether you're planning a multi-family trip, a big reunion, a friend's trip, a girls' trip, even a work retreat, off-property accommodations can easily accommodate everyone and making it easier to bond and spend time together because you're not cramped in an area. You can actually move about in. Coming in at the number 4 spot is flexibility in transportation. So whether you are driving and you have your own, like your actual own vehicle, or staying at a hotel that offers a shuttle, or getting a rental car as you fly into MCO, you have the freedom to arrive and leave the parks with your own vehicle at your own schedule. For me, this is huge. Not being bound to transportation schedules that the Disney resorts or Disney buses follow, for me, again, is something that I really enjoy and I see as a benefit of staying off property. For example, if you need to take a break during the day or decide to leave the park early, you can just walk to your car, get in your car, and go. You don't have to use the hotel shuttle for the Walt Disney World transportation that may be full. Let's say it's pouring rain. You have to wait there because everybody's running out. Or you just don't want to see people on the bus. Nothing wrong with a Walt Disney World bus. I love it. I think they're fun going from park to park. But I don't want to see you all the time when I just saw you all in the park. So having your own vehicle, I think, is a huge benefit, and it adds flexibility to your trip to make you also feel less rushed and more laid back. It also allows you to enjoy the parks and the attractions, the shows, even Disney Springs on your own terms. I do want to point out that if you are driving your own vehicle and staying off Walt Disney World property, unless you have an annual pass or a DVC, you are charged parking. And I think it's $20 to $30 per day now. I'm not 100% because I have an annual pass, so it's covered in our cost. But just budget for that accordingly. So if you're going 4 days, let's call it $30 for the sake of this argument. If you're going for 4 days, 4 times 30 is $120. So plan accordingly that you would have to spend that extra. It may come out in the wash cheaper than staying at a Walt Disney World resort when you're using your own vehicle and you build that into the cost. The other thing I have to say with the flexibility in transportation, sometimes you are running late and then you can leave when you want to. So you're not sitting there like, oh shoot, I just missed the bus from going from Disney's Animal Kingdom to Magic Kingdom. Now I have to wait another 20 minutes. No, you can be 5 minutes late and go walk to your rental car, your own car, or whatever. Plus, I will say, this has nothing to do with staying on property or off property. But having your own vehicle when you do a road trip opposed to flying. Now, I know not everybody can do a road trip just depending on who they are, your timing, plus where you're located. But having your own vehicle is a dream. I don't know what it is about it, but I love sitting in my own car, or we have an SUV, but sitting in my own SUV and being like, this is my car. It's not a rental car. I don't know. I don't care about getting out of the parks or out of the mall, or I don't care getting gas. I just know it's my car. You know what I mean? I think that is wonderful. And I think it is such a benefit too. So I think the flexibility in transportation, so you're not just relying on Walt Disney World schedules. You can come and go as you please. Maybe you've had enough of the park. You're on day 5 and you're like, I just got to get out of here. I've had those moments. You can leave. You're not relying. Coming at number 5 on our list is access to a full kitchen. So when you are staying off Walt Disney World property, and this again is not including the DVC Deluxe villas, you have the benefit of having your own kitchen, because a full kitchen usually comes with a vacation home and condos or villas. And so having that fully equipped kitchen with a fridge, a stove, microwave, what else is there? Dishwasher, a sink, all of that not only offers you the opportunity to like refrigerate and prepare meals, but it makes you feel more at home. So this also not only helps you save money by cooking, for instance, or dining on a budget when you go to the grocery store and you're able to prepare meals. Or again, I said earlier, we're Canadian. We don't have a Target. It was a poor attempt here. Let's not even get into it. But Target has these like little ready prepared meals in a bag for $15, and they usually can feed about 3 people, I would say, maybe 4, depending on how much you eat. And having that for $15, $20 on an off-park day, or you spent, let's say, all day at Animal Kingdom, you already got groceries for the week, you leave when Animal Kingdom closes around 6. If you like to eat dinner late, you can come home and do that. And some people say, well, I don't want to cook on vacation. I got it, but I'm just using this as an example. So having a $15, $20 dinner, that's the size and like cost of one quick service restaurant. So providing you that option not only gives you the ability to dine and save money, but it also gives you more control over you eat. Now, let's say you have dietary restrictions. Disney is excellent about that. But sometimes you just want to have a home-cooked meal. Or heck, let's say you just want a home-cooked meal. There's something about grilled cheese at home. Like, let's say it's one of those days. Whatever it is, whether you want to cook for a family meal or you just want to store leftovers from the park, I have done that so many times because the fridges in the just regular hotel rooms are just to a beverage cooler. So some people don't put milk. If you need milk, if you like milk, I'm not a milk person, so I don't really know. But if you have that, then hey, use it. Or you just want to make a quick breakfast before heading out to the parks, which we do every single time. It's a real breakfast, not like a grab and go. We have the ability to do that. And having that fully equipped kitchen is notice I said equipped there. Just wanted to point that out. I didn't say stocked. Is a major perk. Plus, it's a great option, like I said, if you have dietary restrictions or preferences. And if you're like me, who again, we are Canadian, so there are specific things we can only get in the States, like Scooby snacks. Yes, you can get these in hotel rooms, but bear with me here. If you have those Scooby snack cookies, the ones, who are they made by? I'm not actually quite sure. I think they're Kellogg's. Those like graham cracker dog cookies. Yeah, you could buy 1 box for your hotel room if you do a grocery delivery service. I buy 3. I am not kidding. I eat those like they're going out of style. That's something you can only get in the States. Or there are different like taco bowls we get. Like I said, those Target meals. If we go to Publix, that's close by. Publix mac and cheese. No, that stuff's good. Smoked Gouda only. Or if you just want to make your own sandwiches in the parks and bring them with you, having the ability to do so is there. I'm just giving those options of things we've done before, but I have to say, having an oven and a full fridge and freezer for us, we stockpile popsicles. My dad loves popsicles, so even as a kid, when we went, you stockpile popsicles and you have like 3 or 4 boxes. You could not do that at the Walt Disney World resorts because the fridges don't freeze, right? So having those examples, I hope that can convince you why having access to full kitchens, and I'm going to throw this in like laundry rooms too, is a benefit. All right, 6 on our list is the freedom to explore other attractions. So when you're staying off property at Walt Disney World, you usually are staying off property for a reason. You don't want to be fully engulfed in the Walt Disney World magic, or you want to do it cheaper. Either way works. So if you don't want to be fully engulfed in Walt Disney World, or you want to save a bit of money to do something else, or just save money in general, staying off property gives you the ability, because you usually have a vehicle or access to, for instance, a rideshare service or whatever it is, to explore other Greater Orlando or Florida attractions. You can go to Universal, you can go to SeaWorld, you can go to a local beach, like I said, the fun spot, you can go just shopping, whatever it is. If you're looking to diversify your vacation beyond just Walt Disney World, I know, it's hard, but this is a big advantage. So you're not exclusively tied up to Walt Disney World property. If, for instance, you're somebody who took transportation on Mears Connect from Walt Disney World, or from the airport to Walt Disney World, then you used only the Walt Disney World transportation and did the same thing back, or used a rideshare to go only there and then use transportation and come back. If you're staying on Walt Disney World property, you have a tendency to do Walt Disney World things, even if that means doing resort days, which, hey, I'm a big advocate for. However, there are other things. And if you're planning to go, for instance, and you don't have your own transportation to Universal Orlando, it can get pricey if you're taking an Uber, Lyft, rideshare, like whatever it is. Again, I've never done that, but you know what I'm saying. From Walt Disney World property to Orlando, or Universal Orlando, or SeaWorld, or whatever it is. But when you stay off property, you have a tendency, I found, to plan other things. So being not only tied up into Walt Disney World exclusively, I think is a really great advantage because you can easily visit nearby attractions at your own pace. I also want to say it gives you the ability to step away, to go somewhere else, even if you're just going to the mall, or even if you're going over to Celebration for dinner. I love Celebration, but saying that, that's, for me, that's not an attraction, but you know what I mean. You're stepping away from it. Even though Disney owns Celebration, totally different note. But when you stay off property, you're more apt to go do other things, and then stepping back in Walt Disney World makes it even so much better. So I truly do recommend staying off property if you're looking to plan to see and do more than just Walt Disney World during your vacation, because it gives you the ability and incentive to go do it. We love to plan a beach day. Now, I hate sand. Work with me here. I hate sand, but I love going to Clearwater Beach. I love going down on the west. So the West Coast beaches are where my family and I like to go, or anything around Sarasota. I said that, Clearwater, St. Armand's Circle. We have a tendency to do that when we are staying off property, opposed to being fully engulfed on property, if that makes sense. So if you're looking to do something like that, maybe think about staying off property. Even if you wanted to do that, stay off property and then spend a little bit of time as you drive down and stay at a vacation place there. It gives you the advantage and it gives you the incentive to go do other things beyond Disney. And that is why I had to include that. Number 7 on our list is more privacy. So when you stay off property at a rental, like a vacation rental or a villa, or even on a resort, there are a few, you often have more privacy compared to Walt Disney World's crowded resorts. So many vacation rentals actually come with private spaces, such as pools in your own, like if you got a vacation house, you got your own pool, patio, and entire home. Or if you're doing a villa or a condo, you usually have that condo area plus then a pool area. And it's just a little one compared to Walt Disney World's giant pools, for instance. So having your own private area is perfect for families or groups who enjoy their own private retreat, which is me after a busy park day. I'm not a people person, so I like stepping outside of the people. I like going to a pool where there's not a lot of people, if any. So stepping away from the crowds. And again, this is just my personal preferences, but maybe you have those too. And you're thinking about going to Walt Disney World. Stepping away from the crowds, you have more privacy when you stay off property. The quieter, more secluded environment makes it much easier to relax and recharge to ensure you're ready for another park day and another great adventure if you're doing the parks every day and staying off property, for instance, or just want a really great day the next day. You also get more privacy just being your family. And I have to say, a lot of the hotels or vacation rentals or condos or villas, whatever you have it. Again, we have where we stay, but they are not paper thin walls like Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World, as you go from value to moderate to deluxe, the walls get a little bit thicker. But I do know that you can still hear your neighbors. And when you're staying in your own vacation house or rental, you can't, because unless your neighbors are crazy and rowdy, you don't normally hear them. So that, having your own privacy, having your own place to park, so on and so forth, I just think it's a bigger benefit. And that is why I wanted to include this on our Hey Disney Top 10 Advantages and Benefits of Staying Off Walt Disney World property. 8th on our list is no park only commitment. So what do I mean by that? I mean that staying off property when you're at Walt Disney World kind of allows you, and this ties back to our other point, but it allows you to not be locked into a Walt Disney World park schedule. I have to say, you mentally have more flexibility in where you want to go when you stay off Walt Disney World property, because you're not looking at, all right, our park is here, from here to here, we're going to take the bus from here to here. Now, this is my thoughts, okay? So work with me. So I think you have more flexibility to spend time, for instance, out at Disney Springs. You have more time to spend if you want to go shopping, if you like Target, if you like the mall at Millennia, you like the Orlando Premium Outlets, either International or Vineland, you like the Orlando Mall. what else am I going with here? There's so many more places. Or you want to go out to eat somewhere else. Or you want to stay and have a resort day. Like I said earlier, we really love Reunion Resort and Golf Club. If you want to have a day of golf, if you're one of those people, I'm not. Or you want to stay and use the Reunion Water Park, for instance. That's just an instance. You can do that. Staying off property gives you that balance of Walt Disney World time and other activities that lets you take a breather away from the parks or Walt Disney World, because we all know they can be crowded, and it lets you dive into whatever else you want to do. If you prefer a vacation that's a mix of Disney and non-Disney activities, staying off property gives you that freedom. And for me, that's something that we really love and I think we cherish. And that's why I wanted to include it in these top 10 benefits. Coming in at the number 9 spot is avoiding Disney's crowds post-park. Now, this one's a personal favorite. I said I'm not a people person. So, after a long day in the park, the crowds and the hustle can feel overwhelming because everybody knows that hustle when you go and you leave, especially Magic Kingdom. When you have to get on a resort bus with you and 100 of your closest friends that just came from the parks that are hot and sweaty, and it's humid because it's Florida. You know that feeling as you all stand there and you're like, oh gosh, and it's 1 a.m. or whatever it is. Yes, you do have to take the monorail back if you're going to the TTC at Magic Kingdom. And that's one of the reasons, honestly, why I'm not a huge fan of Magic Kingdom's parking setup. I don't like taking the monorail back after a long day. But if you want to do something like that and avoid the crowds, and that's okay, in all honesty, that's the only place that you you don't avoid the rush, because you're all going back to the TTC. But if you don't want to feel overwhelmed at the end of the night with everybody else rushing to the buses and being crowded and packed on the buses, I think staying off property gives you that peaceful retreat. Once you exit the park, you go to your car and you get out, or rideshare or whatever, and you get to leave. So you're away from the bustling Disney atmosphere. And some people love it and are diehard for staying at Walt Disney World for those reasons. And I say more power to you. But I like to go whether I'm heading back to a vacation home or a quieter hotel that's kind of stepping away from Walt Disney World. You're able to decompress in a more relaxed setting. I love the idea of escaping the chaos of the parks. Like I said, I'm not a huge people person. I love Walt Disney World, but I'm not a people person. So retreating to a peaceful environment where I can unwind with my family and my friends and just kind of go and enjoy. I can take a shower after a long day, get in my jammies and go to bed and not worry about it. And then say, okay, I'm rested and recharged. And I'm ready to do a new day. Once I wake up, you get ready, you go work out, you go for your run. You haven't seen people all day, so you're in for it now. That sort of thing I like. If that is something that you like too, I think staying off property is a benefit for you. However, if you don't and you want to be engulfed in it, go for it. Stay on property. I hope it's amazing. But for me, I think avoiding that Disney post-park crowds of everybody getting on a bus, going back to the hotel, you getting off, you're trying to do it, you're navigating, all of that stuff. If I can just walk to my car, get in my car and go, for me, that's a benefit. And that is why I wanted to include it in the top 10 benefits of staying off Walt Disney World property. Number 10 on our list. Now, this isn't in any particular order, as you know, but number 10 on our list is local shopping conveniences. I love shopping. So staying off property makes it so much easier to access nearby grocery stores, pharmacies, if you need that. For instance, we stay and I can name you like 5 CVS's in our area, just in case you needed them, or Walgreens, whatever it is, or shopping centers. Are we looking for shopping centers like Target or Walmart? Or you can do the Orlando Premium Outlets, like I said, the malls, whatever it is, you have more shopping convenience, especially staying off property with your own vehicle. If you need to stock up on essentials, grab a snack, pick up a souvenir, whatever it is, you're just a short drive from all of those conveniences. When you're staying on Walt Disney World property, you usually don't have your vehicle, so then you have to book a rideshare or book a vehicle, and it's like a day trip kind of thing because you have to do all those steps, unless you're just grabbing a rideshare to and from Target. You see where I'm going with that. But I think that staying off Walt Disney World property gives me more of that convenience. However, If you would like to argue with me that it doesn't and staying on property gives you the same convenience, then feel free. It's honestly, for me, really helpful when I have longer stays and I can go pick up what I need or spread out our time. And like we talked about, preparing our own meals and having that fully equipped kitchen, I can quickly do those supplies without traveling too far and having to arrange transportation or arrange anything like that in advance. So I think the local shopping conveniences are a huge benefit and a huge perk to staying off Walt Disney World property. But again, that's to me. You let me know what you think in the comments as well. Okay, I couldn't make it out of here without an honorable mention, which is pet-friendly options. Phew, this is fun. So now, I will say there are some Walt Disney World hotels that do allow you to bring your pet. One is Art of Animation. I can't remember the other. I think there's 4, and I apologize. I've never brought a pet to Walt Disney World. However, I have brought a pet to an off-property hotel, or a resort or something. Many off-property vacation rentals and hotel offer pet-friendly accommodations, allowing you to bring your furry family member, and I want to say they are not pets, they are family members, because they are the best, along for your vacation. So this is a big plus for pet owners who don't want to leave their pets behind when they travel. And I will also say sometimes it is cheaper depending on what your pet fee is associated at the hotel. If you have a hotel where the pet fee is, for instance, $75 for the 4 nights you stay, or $150 for 5+ nights, $150, and if you're road tripping, that's way cheaper than boarding your dog at a kennel. Or if you're doing whatever, way cheaper. And they may have some rules and regulations around it of how long a dog can be left in the room, what it has to have. I'm saying dog. I don't know. I think you could probably bring your cat too. I'm not 100% about that. But they might have regulations, so just check. But you can also use the Walt Disney World pet boarding or kennel services, which I think it's called Best Friends Pet Care. If you wanted to do like a doggy daycare for the day. Yes, it may cost you more, but then that way, if you're having a full day in the park, the dog can be there in the day. You know it's taken care of if that's something you are okay with and enjoy for your pet. But it just gets you to have them there closer. I know I hated it. We used to have a Morkie. She has since passed away, which makes me very sad. But she never really went to a kennel. I don't think she ever went, honestly. She would stay with my grandparents or would come with us all the time. I could never bear to leave her somewhere else, and I loved having her with us, as did my family. She was part of the family, so that was her. However, we did, when I was younger, we had a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, and he didn't love it, but liked going to boarding wherever we went. So he was more okay with that. So he would have been a great dog to take to, for instance, with us if we drove. I'm not a big advocate for putting dogs under the plane. I just don't like it. It freaks me out. I know it's completely fine, but if you want to do it, not saying that. I just mean it kind of makes me nervous. But he would be a great dog if we drove and we dropped him off at the Best Friends Pet Care and we went to Disney for the day, picked him up, and we had a pet-friendly accommodation. It would be so much easier in that sense. Also, the world has really kind of changed, and you can bring your pets to a lot of different places. So having your pets with you, you know they're being well loved and taken care of. They're in a comfortable space. They may not be familiar with it, but at least they're there with you, not, let's say, 1,000 miles away at a different place where you don't know. If they're with your parents or your grandparents, then hey, they're having a great time. My dog loved being with my grandparents. But just giving that as a note. Again, check if you're staying off property, if you can have pets and what it entails. But they usually do allow you to bring your pets more than the 4 Walt Disney World hotels. So it's just kind of a nice added bonus to have your dog, for instance, with you. And it makes it so lovely because they are part of the family. They really are. I wish you could bring them like all the time. They're the best. So that's my honorable mention there. Staying off property at a Walt Disney World vacation has some incredible perks, especially if you're looking for more space, affordability, and flexibility during your Walt Disney World vacation. Whether you're interested in a larger accommodation, saving money, or having the freedom to explore beyond Walt Disney World, staying in an off-property accommodation provides a variety of benefits that are hard to beat. Plus, who can't complain about an in-person laundry unit? Especially after a park day, am I right? So, those are just some really wonderful reasons why I think staying off property at Walt Disney World is a benefit. And those are my top 10 plus an honorable mention. But What are yours? Please share your thoughts with us on either our blog and the corresponding blog post, comments here on YouTube or our podcast, wherever it may be. What are your favorite benefits of staying off property? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What's been your favorite accommodation to stay? Let us know. And please just continue to share with us in our community, as it is something that is obviously so special to us, and us Disney adults, we enjoy it. So I want to thank you for joining us, and I hope that you stay tuned to Happily Adventures After for more Hey Disney Top 10, Hey Disney Give Me a Review, and so much more we have in store. And enjoy any splash and sprinkle and happiness of Disney magic right here on Happily Adventures After. Again, I'm London, and I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye-bye.